Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to AM1. This is round 6 of season 6 of the Top American Tiers and Contest of Speed. I am Kitten Petter coming to you live from my mom's basement, as always, and I am joined by my pal, I'd say a top 5 Australian, somewhere between Russell Crowe and the Prime Minister that got lost at sea in the 60s. Bod Hod, how you doing, Bod?
Not too bad at all. Looking forward to this one. These guys always put on some class races, so I don't expect tonight to be any different.
Yeah, I would certainly expect this to be pretty action-packed despite a smaller than usual grid. Only 14 starters tonight as I think we are looking at the track map now on screen. Once we're done with the overlays to start the race, I think we're going to ride on board for a little bit with last week's, don't want to say total surprise winner, but I think most of us were counting on Alp to win, but the man, the myth, the Mexican legend, Bean Sandwich holding off Alp for the last 10 or so laps. A great battle, a fantastic final. 5 to 8 laps from Interlagos. Some really top quality stuff there at the end. I highly suggest watching that if you haven't already. Well, actually, you know what? It looks like Bean is just going to sit in the pits.
Anyone
So-
not out on track at the moment, so
Yeah,
get down a bit.
yeah, dude. I was practicing that in the mirror for the past week. That preamble for Bean, but apparently he's taking a bathroom break or something. But nonetheless, we do have cars on track right now. I think Canal is the first one coming over from the EU side. Had a good race last weekend in the points, along with I think 427 and it's another one of the EU drivers. I think they all finished 8 through 10, so good performances from them, even though it's early in the morning in their neck of the woods. But Alp also putting in a very fast one. 32.7, really getting this party started off right from Yas Marina.
Yeah, I know time trial isn't always the best gauge, but Alp is currently sitting P2 on PlayStation. Something that's worth noting.
And
as well.
that
Man,
is-
it's rapid.
that is in the world, correct?
On the PS4. Yep, in the world on the PS4.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think everybody might have the work cut out for them if his race pace is anywhere similar to that. Might be trying out for world's fastest gamer, as I think one of the Mercedes there. So that is Juventus spun, I believe, coming out of turn 2. Some pretty major front wing damage there. Luckily, he'll be able to nurse it around back to the pits. But I think he's going to pick up quite a bit of front, a lot of speed on the straightaways here, as KD DNF'd.
Ended or isn't it? Oh, actually, I might. He might have quali banned. I think he might actually. I remember him saying something during the week. So that's why he retired early. Luckily, with a field of only 14, it's probably not the worst thing. Like, if you're gonna do it, this would be the race to do it.
Yeah, there are. It's quite mitigated there, but Arbar is in P2 at the moment, doing a little bit better than his teammate Juve. There with half a front wing. Swarner up into P3. Just completed a fantasy draft with Swarner. His team is looking pretty solid. Let's hope that he saved some of his focus for the race at hand. Hopefully continuing on. Oh, football. American football, fantasy football. Starts tomorrow. Yeah.
As an Aussie football fan, I'm also very devoted to my fantasy Supercoach team, so I understand. You must put a lot of really time and thought and effort into it. So let's hope he saves a little bit.
It's honestly harder than the real thing. $10 buy-in because most of the people I'm playing with are about
Fatal's been to the
18.
last corner.
Fatal has binned it.
He shouldn't see it. Oh, he's putting the pit wall. Oh no!
Oh no! It is
I've lost all his tires on my screen.
it is it is a tricky pit, to be fair. It's very
really run into him as well.
very inviting. It's very inviting to carry speed around there. But yeah, it is a little dangerous that the edge of the pit wall really comes out at you pretty fast.
Yeah, easy to understeer. Yeah, definitely.
His Bean is still not. Oh, here he is. Last week's winner, Bean Sandwich. I believe that moves him to third place in the championship. Nicholas still the leader after the first 5 rounds. Bean?
With you. So I'll whip him up if you don't.
Yeah, if you could. I'm kind of going off the top of the dome. I'm currently reading the Twitch chat, which I don't think anything's happened in there yet.
What are you reading?
Nothing. So, guys, if y'all want to start commenting, that would help me out instead of just bloviating over here.
There you go.
But hey, there's Bot getting us started off. Bean. Speaking of current events, Bean might be the only Mexican signed to Racing Point in 2021 and beyond. Believe Sergio Perez will probably lay it on his feet at Haas, but he is out of that ride. Shout out to Bodhod, first one in the comments. Congratulations, you win a cookie.
Yippee! So excited.
Yes, we are really doing it large here in AM1. Fenrique has put in the second fastest time. That happened a few minutes ago, but I figured times are going to start falling here in a second as he's, I believe, coming out at the moment.
Yeah, I've whipped up the standings as well. So Bean's actually moved himself up in P2 due to last week's win. So we've got Nicholas is 21 points ahead of Bean. So Nicholas having a good start to the season, got a bit of a gap, consistently up in the top few positions. Then you've got Fenrique and Arbar on 6 points behind Bean, and then 4 points from Fenrique to Arbar. So it's top 4 with a bit of a gap to the rest of the field at the moment. Lopez and Warner kind of in between. But yeah, it is Nicholas from Bean from Fenrique for the top 3 currently.
Yeah, not
and
too
of course
shabby.
that means Aston Martin Rebel Racing is winning the constructors by 41 points at the moment. So good start there for Red Bull.
Yeah, not too bad. It almost looked like Alp invalidated there, going through the first chicane, or I guess the chicane in between the 2 DRS straights. But I guess he knows these track limits like the back of his hand. Speaking of track limits, pretty harsh. Here we saw a cavalcade of penalties last night in AM2. I believe Kano actually had led the group with about 25. So the track limits around here very exaggerated compared to what you'll see in real life. But so far so good from Alp, as he is. Yeah, that was a misleading camera shot. I thought he went straight onto the Armco there. As I, it was a little bit of a power slide, and he ups it to a 132.229. That is very fast.
Oh, Bean's invalidated at the penultimate corner. So that's it for that run.
Yeah,
so easy to do that. You can cut that corner and then run wide.
It's just the massive curbs. The curbs are all flat, very inviting. But as soon as you put that fourth wheel off, it is invalidated immediately. As Fenrique is starting his second lap. Big Slater asked, "How's the lads? How are the lads, Big Slater?" I think we're doing all right. Wish we had a little bit more than 14, but such is life every once in a while. DK says, "Love you all." Thanks, DK, but I'm afraid of commitment. So I'm not going to say I love you back. But
I love you, DK. Best teammate.
No.
I'm not sure. It's pretty even with you, actually. They've been my 2 teammates in contest of speed so far. Who was my season 1 teammate? I don't remember now. I had about 4. That's right. Because my teammates kept coming and going. But yes, love you back, DK. Hopefully he can whip out some points. I don't think he's got any this season yet. He's had a few 11th and 12th place positions. So let's see if this is the round where DK can get into the points. Saw representation for Team Dingett tonight. So I'll be back in the Renault in.
Yeah, no Dingett tonight. Is Fenrique's. He put in a purple sector 2, which is no small feat, but he's going back into the pits here. Even though he didn't invalidate, I think he's just testing the limits there. Obviously, tires also a bit. Yeah, maybe. There was a little bit of traffic there. I think it was an Alpha. I'm not sure if it got in his way going through Sector 3 or not, but either way, he does back out, as does Nicholas, who is currently behind him in P3. R-Bar into Sector 3 as well. R-Bar having a pretty solid season so far, very quiet as usual, sneaking up, getting a lot of top fives, getting a few podiums. No wins yet though, so hopefully that'll come before the end of the season. We only have how many rounds left do we have? I believe that's 8.
A lot.
Yes, it is quite.
This is round 6.
Round
6 out of 22.
So 16, I guess, left. It's going to be a long season. Plenty of time to make up points as DK, the aforementioned DK, is in here. Yeah, I love it, but I don't love the fact that we have to go to Monaco. Is that next week?
Yeah, I think we've got a bit of an interesting run of races. I think Belgium's next week, which is going to be great.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
After that, we've got Monaco, then Vietnam, then Bahrain, which I know for a lot of drivers are 3 tracks that are not the best. Personally, they're probably 3 in my bottom 5 tracks. So
well,
we'll be getting them out of the way in a bunch.
Yeah, I think
I
I guess if you're watching this, you are probably well aware, but Monaco is, I think I would say by far and away most drivers' least favorite track. Very just
DK's put in
impossible.
almost an identical time to Connell, by the way.
Oh, wow. Where's that extra 1,000th at DK?
Sure,
he's
you can find it
kicking.
somewhere.
Yeah. There's about 22 corners that he can probably pick up with that
Although,
last
to be
1,000.
fair, it might not be the worst thing if they end up being P10, 11, free choice of tyres.
Yeah.
We should probably talk about the strategy at some point too, because we have a 15th driver, because Wizard is in. But yeah, strategy could be quite interesting tonight as well, so we'll have to mention that at some point in this closed session.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for a lot of guys, I think the 2-stop's probably the way to go, but you can get a 1-stop if you're going medium to hard, or even maybe soft to hards with a safety car like we saw last night. Only problem is the hards are just absolutely atrocious around here, as they are at about
if you want to be
60% of the
very
tracks.
adventurous and you don't mind 75% tyre wear or 70% tyre wear, a soft to medium is possible. I did it in a league race, but it was very slow.
Yeah, that seems...
last week. So I reckon the soft, medium, soft might be the way to go, because I think the hards, as you said, are just not that great.
Yeah, the track is just... it's being where it is, conveniently located next to Fight Island, for the UFC fans out there. Yas Marina is obviously very greasy and super hot, even though it's relatively new tarmac. It is not conducive to the hard tires whatsoever. It takes forever to heat up. It's basically like driving on a skating rink with the hardest compounds. So not ideal, but some guys might try to venture, especially if we see an early safety car or multiple VSCs where they might be able to get that. Not really sure if anybody's up for that challenge. Guess we got a 1 in 15 chance though. As Finrique and Alp are both on their hot laps at the moment. Finrique a little bit ahead of Alp. Not sure if he's going to put in another purple sector too, as he did on his last run. Nicholas behind him. Maybe trying to get a little bit of a slipstream down that extremely long first of the 2 back straightaways. About a kilometer in length. I think that's the second or third longest throttle blast on the F1 calendar. Is Finrique riding around? Almost invalidates. Very close from Finrique. Let's see if he improves it all. He doesn't. Or he does. 32.933, so about a 10th he found on his final run. Is now Alp coming along to...
pretty much an identical second sector split time, so he needs to improve in the third sector.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Enrique is running a pretty low downforce as Alp goes 32.1. Boy, that is rapid. We're seeing a lot of action now. Domrez in the comments, let's go. I'm looking forward to it as well. Of course, in real life, the Yas Queen Marina circuit, it is very boring, but in-game, you've got 3 or 4 pretty good overtaking spots, and it usually provides for very entertaining racing on the actual, or not the actual thing, the video game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setting. This like where this track is. It's just a shame that so many people don't like the track. Yeah, in real life it doesn't produce fantastic racing a lot of the time. Even though you like looking at it, like the layout just as it is, it looks like it could be quite a fantastic track. Like it's got a bit of everything, a few fast corners, a long straight and technical section which actually has some really nice flow to it. But for some reason in real life it's just never really thrown up fantastic racing. However, on the game it's a slightly different story. Oh, someone gone off.
Yeah, I think DK I think might have impeded Nicholas there on his hot lap. He did put in a purple sector too, but I think DK got in his way through the right, left section in sector 3. Yeah, well, Nicholas still able to pip his teammate Fenrique. Yeah, so not terrible, but I think he probably lost a few tenths right there. Might have been in the 32.5s. Had DK not been in there. Swarner with his customary lag issues, as Canal is going to go ahead and retire. R-Bar up into P3. Bean had been in P3 before Nicholas and R-Bar pipped him, so he'll be starting. It looks like P5 as Perry slots into P6. DK is the final one on a hot lap here. Teammateless today, of course. I mean, it couldn't make it.
Context. Last night's AM2 pole time was a 34 flat. So these guys really showing their class. Especially Alp, who's 8 tenths ahead in P1, which is absolutely insane on this game with these cars.
Yeah, it is something to behold at 32.1. I don't think I've ever seen anything close to that in an open lobby on F1. Damras asks if anyone else is streaming their own race. I would imagine everyone is. Just not quite sure on the YouTube or Twitch handles. I think.
I'm not sure what
is DK? Yeah, DK just about lost it. I think there was a thread in the league Discord where people could post their YouTubes and stuff. I'm not sure. Either way, DK coming around. Not sure. He lost a lot of time there in Sector 3. Huge slide, but he does get up into P10. So not too shabby for him. Although I think he probably didn't want to start in P10. If you're starting anywhere behind
top 10, so he's done okay. But I mean, Failer won't be too unhappy with that, I don't think.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in that 7, 8, 9, 10 range, you're probably better off starting on the mediums in P11 or 12. Nonetheless, I think this will be an interesting race at hand. Alp obviously is much maligned starting issues. Nicholas might have a chance to jump him like Bean did towards the start of the race last week. Of course, behind that, R-Bar with a really solid qualifying session for himself. Usually doesn't qualify P3, but it's not uncommon for him to find his way up there in the race. Last week's winner in P5 Bean, and then of course Fenrique, the Brazilian madman, with an Illuminati tattoo on his forearm. He is in. He's gonna be starting in P4.
Yep. Lopez on the mediums as well, which is quite interesting. So he's set what he wants to do for strategy. Everyone else doing soft laps, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, look at some of the massive gaps in there. A massive gap from first to second, as well as from 6th to 7th, and then kind of downwards. So a lot of guys, not for the first time we see at Abu Dhabi, just not really getting clean laps in, because partially because the track limits, but also just because the track's so long and technical. Like, you really have to ace every corner to really get up there. So
yeah, without the actual
one of the most challenging qualifying sessions on the calendar. Yeah. So I just want to prove that again.
I think without having the actual track map brought up, I believe it's 22 corners, so ample room to make a mistake and get penalized quite harshly in a one-lap situation. Juventus's last to first challenge, definitely something worth keeping an eye on in the race. I think points are in the offing for everyone on the grid, with 15 cars starting. So I think these first few laps have a pretty good chance to be, what's the word I'm looking for, manic in nature. Should be fun.
If you're planning on doing a two-stop, you're going to need to really push and make up as much time as you can quickly by the time you make that second stop. But then at the same time, also with having a clean race and minimising penalties, because that could play a really big factor, especially with only the 14 or I think 15 drivers now. You really don't want to be dropping out of the points, because 2/3 of the field is going to get points. So you need to be fast but clean. And that's going to be a massive challenge for some people. We see a few people kind of rack up lots and lots of penalties. First one that comes to mind is probably KD. So there's a few of them I know who are going to have to kind of pull the reins in a tiny bit, but again, you're going to want to gun it as much as you can, especially if you need to take more than one stop. So it'd be interesting to see what the approach to the race will be. But
yeah, I think
the aggression to get track position, because track position is always pretty key in F1.
I think the first indicator there of what these guys are thinking right now, Fatal and P11 on the mediums. Not a surprise, Wizard P13 on the mediums, Juventus in 15th also on the mediums, but then looking a little bit into P14, KD, the aforementioned KD actually starting on hards, which I believe someone tried that last night. I don't think it worked. Actually, no, I think it was Morera, and I believe he did finish.
Right. He got a fantastic result.
Yeah.
He got helped a little bit, but I mean, in terms of raw pace, it's going to be interesting to see how far KD can get up the grid.
Yeah, I think
been able to put together clean races, so he'll definitely want to watch. Only one on the hards.
Yeah, I think Morera did finish P7 or P8 last night, so a good result from him. Alp already up to some tricks, knocking over the Bullards on the inside of the chicane in between the two DRS straights. That's interesting move, but I don't think he's going to pick up any damage for that. Just getting it out of the way for once the race starts. Lopez in a pretty good spot, I would say, for a P5 or better. Starting on the mediums, he should have a pretty easy road to a one-stop if he so chooses. Same with his teammate Fatal down there in P11. Burzy, interestingly enough, the only one outside of the top 10 who is picking the softs. So I'm not sure if he's just dedicating himself for a one-stop or two-stop here. But we will see multiple different strategies to play out amongst these guys. Looking forward to that. Should be an interesting race, as Alp is leading the boys onto the front straightaway. It always kind of surprises me, but I was thinking about this last night during the race, that there's not a DRS straight on the first, on this main straight.
I think it's only one of probably. I was thinking about this about a week ago as well. There's only one or two tracks in the calendar which don't have a DRS straight on the main straight. I'm trying to think of what the other one I was thinking of was.
Yeah, I mean this one.
Have a DRS straight, the main straight.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Britain does have has Abby to contend with there. He's looking for the lights here. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing from the United Arab Emirates. Alp does seem to get off to a good start. So does Arbar behind him. Arbar's going to look to make a move around the outside as we're going 3 wide behind. It looks like, is that Perry? I believe that's Perry. These guys are getting a little bit loose, but I think there's yellows. Oh, it's KD on the hards. Yeah, those hards are so hard to get up to temperature, as we referenced earlier.
So hard. Anyway, he's managed to get away with that damage, which is good. Everyone else managed to get fairly clean.
Yeah, you're too young for dad jokes. That only kicks in once you're about 45. I think right now we're seeing everybody fan out. Nicholas did get a really good toe going around the outside of Alp, trying to take a page out of Bean's playbook from last week, and Alp is not going to be able to get the power down on those outside curbs. And that's actually going to leave him vulnerable, I think, to Arbar as well, who is attacking from the outside. Are we going to go 3 abreast? No, not quite, but Arbar around the outside as well, and I think he's going to get him.
Oh, we were 3 wide down for P8 as well, but they've managed to sort themselves out with that contract, so good racing there. I'm just trying to be aggressive but also clean, as Lopez and DK are still fighting as the battle at the top continues to rage on. We're 3-1 through this third sector, guys, settle down. Someone had to back out there, and luckily it was Lopez, who's actually lost out to his teammate. They're going side by side, so Ferrari strat, please don't run into each other.
Yeah, that happens all too often.
They've managed not to, but I think they just stopped 3 corners in a row, just about. So they're still side by side. There we go, they've settled down. Fatal gets penalties. So.
Yeah, Fatal the penalty, and I think that's Swarner running wide off that. I want to see if Enrique is going to get by R-Bar. R-Bar and Alp were going side by side through Sector 3 as well, as I think we got Bean.
And Swarner side by side.
Yeah, Swarner cuts the corner a little bit, but Bean's gonna have the optimal line there. But Alp was able to fight R-Bar off.
Connell stuck in as well there, really quick back, as Perry's going to absolutely send it on Connell, and he's going to lose the back in a tiny bit, but gets the power down just. That was a pretty interesting move there by Perry, but luckily no harm done. He might have another pin down here, as the Ferrari's still going side by side, so not sorting each other out, and they're losing time to DK. They're already 1.3 seconds down, and on the medium tyres they can't afford to do that. That stick soft run is so interesting strat there for Ferrari, not for the first time recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Codemaster's got that part pretty realistic. But looks like Lopez is going to come out on top. Unfortunately for them, they've lost a ton of time to the drivers ahead as Fenrique...
We've been pushed out wide and he's lost 2 positions. Just trying to go side by side there and ended up on the curb, which is very slippery. Now Bean and Fenrique are going to go side by side through here. You don't usually see cars going side by side.
Whoa!
And Fenrique's been in the wall.
Oh boy,
no,
that
he's trying
is...
to the inside and just absolutely stuff that up. And Bean is off into the distance.
I'm not sure if he has any damage.
Penalties for overtaking on the yellow, so that's a bit of a glitch, but I think Fenrique is going to pick up a big penalty for that.
Yeah, and I think his race might be compromised pretty early on here. I want to check and see if he has any damage on the front wing, because that was quite the wallop. Yeah,
so
that was...
He must have hit it with the rear of his car, which is pretty much indestructible. So he's a bit lucky there. I mean, he might have some yellow damage. You know, it doesn't really show up visually until it kind of gets to the dark yellow, light orange colour. So he might have a little bit, but I mean, it's not major, which is a good thing at least. He can stay out for these tyres, but the track position, racing point, both having little instance in the first 2 laps, and they're definitely on the back foot now. I still reckon Bean's got pace to get to the top, kind of 5-6 in fight, but it's a long road.
Yeah, he's just gotta control what he can control at this point. I'm sure he is none too thrilled with Fenrique after that move.
Side by side, as well as the 2 Ferraris yet again. Alright, so still not sorting each other out. Colin makes a move on Perry, and Perry's going to go for a switchback and get traction down. Very, very smart driving there from Perry. Just trying to get the optimal line out of that corner, because that's the important one. As Fenrique and Swarner in front of them are also going to have a bit of a fight. So plenty of guys are already kind of scuffling a lot this race. Looks like Ferraris have sorted each other out as well, as Lopez picks up 3 seconds. So both Ferraris get early penalties. I think I saw Arbar got a 5 seconds earlier as well for that yellow.
Yeah,
that's also something worth noting.
Is Alpez clawed his way back into DRS up front? Who?
Sorry, just Wizard and Burzy were both almost lost at the back end at the same time. Coming out of the 3rd sector, I think the 3rd last quarter, and Ubenis managed to jump. But that was a bit scary for both of them.
Yeah, synchronized spinning, you usually see that at Renault. Yeah, Lopez and Fela right now, I guess they haven't lost a ton of time to DK. As Lopez is right on the back. I think Canal is starting to hold these guys up a little bit as KD gets a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, we're going to have to keep tabs on that a little bit later on, but for now they're just coming in way too hot and heavy to really keep up. As DK with the DRS flap open makes a move on Canal. To Canal's credit, didn't make that too difficult, but he is going to hang around the outside push as DK off, and now Lopez. Yeah, now Lopez is going to get the jump on them both. Yeah, already.
Lopez gets 2 positions. DK's going to have a look.
Whoa!
He's going to run back on the racing line in the braking zone and give Fatal a bit of a nudge, who's now going side by side, picks up his second penalty of the race already as he loses the pace to Cos Wizard. And he's going to get dived by Juventus as well. So Fatal's absolutely in the walls, more contact there as Juventus runs to the back as Fatal nearly lost the rear end. And Fatal needs to pick up another warning there, and he's going to almost run into the back of Juventus again, and he's losing the rear. Oh, I think he's just got to settle down a tiny bit now. He's going to be so frustrated, but I mean, that car's getting out of control now. That was a pretty frightening sequence for Fatal.
And you just see in that half a lap, is already. So it looks like that is going to be a bona fide 2-stop for Alp. Fatal's got to be frustrated looking forward here, seeing his teammate he was just battling with for the first 4.5 laps of this race, and now he is just scampering off into the distance up to P6 for Lopez.
Still heading up this pack though, so this part's far from over. DK and Connell get a bit sideways, trying to kind of go side by side where it's impossible to. I think Connell's missed the DRS in front, so he could be quite exposed here to DK, and Wizard's got a fantastic exit. He's actually going to get DK, I reckon, before. You know, Wizard's going to get 2 positions, because Connell's got nothing on the straight. Where's DK going to go? Oh, it's going to be reminiscent of that, Schumacher Hakkinen. They both overtake the slow guy in the middle. And they're 3 wide.
Go straight, and who's that? It's DK coming out on top.
Make contact.
Ooh, Connell did a good job to save that. But yeah, you cannot go 3 wide through there. Somebody had to lose. And they're going to do it again. Juventus now up the inside. I think DK is going to get squeezed once more. Juventus almost loses it.
4 positions in about 3 seconds there, but they're still 3 wide behind. Juventus, Fatal as well getting involved now. Fatal's going to get a bit of revenge here perhaps, but and this has caused Bean to be right behind as well. They're still nearly 2 wide.
I think that's
tapped and he's gone straight on. He just got a tiny little tap. Juventus is going to come on the track and he's going to spin. And he's got the Fatal with him. I was just looking backwards from being sandwiched. He just came on the track and the tiniest tag has put them both around.
Oh boy! Man!
And now in the custom section.
Luckily Fatal ghosted at just the right time. Whenever he was pulling back on the track, a blind corner right before that nearly took out Alp, but he ghosted about a split second before before that could happen. I think
one more thing while that was all happening, Swanner managed to get past Penrique, but Penrique's just come into the pits and put on a new front wing, so there must have been a bit of contact there, possibly forcing Penrique to pit a bit earlier than he wanted. But Swanner up in P3 now, as Alp and KD are going side by side as well. So plenty of these guys pitting really early. So obviously they think the 2-stop's the way to go. If you want a 1-stop to hard, you'll probably be pitting around lap 7, 8, 9. A 1-stop to mediums if you want to be really adventurous, you'd have to stay out to probably 11, 12. Lots of guys coming to the 2-stop, everyone putting on the new mediums.
Yeah, being at I think he's finally got those tires back operating after spinning pretty early. He makes the move on Juventus up into P7, so pretty good recovery drive so far from him. Definitely aided by some absolutely bananas stuff there. We just saw a lap ago through Sector 3. I think we had 2x2 going through this double apex, or triple apex, excuse me. Speaking of triple apexes, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Istanbul to come back? Because I am.
100%. I
love that track.
Sworn out Albert on the pits. It was probably my favourite racetrack, or my first ever F1 game, F1 2011. So I'm very excited to see it back.
Same here.
Pretty good racetrack. You usually see how these guys can race. A few overtaking spots on the track, but also a lot of fast flowing corners and the magical. I don't even think it's triple. It's like 5 or 6 apexes, isn't it? That left-hander. So it's good to see a lot of these old tracks come back, and I'm sure the real-life F1 drivers will be absolutely laughing.
I think
classic circuits like Mugello, Jerez. Like you'd never think like being in F1 these days you'd get to drive some of those tracks that your heroes drove. So it's quite interesting to see them coming back, and it'd be interesting to see if any of them stay.
It would be nice. I mean, it would be nice if Codemasters could somehow incorporate some of these tracks back into the game.
They have to.
Right.
It's nice seeing actual racetracks though, rather than these kind of beefed up street circuits in the middle of big cities.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that all of them are shocking, but it's good to see these guys kind of, like the real life guys, starting to put on a bit of a show on some classic circuits.
Speaking of Turkey, Alp's making a move on Juventus. I'm sure Alp's pretty thrilled. I'm not sure if he ever made the stop, but I believe he is from Istanbul originally. Yeah, yeah, and of course, one of the best drives I think I've ever seen in any category, Lewis Hamilton in GP2, I think in 2006, spun early on and then proceeded to pass 22 cars, I think, and win the race. That was some fantastic stuff. Oh, was it second? Yeah,
I think it was second. I think needed 1 or 2 more laps to get it, but a phenomenal drive nonetheless. If you want to see a racing masterclass in equal cars, go watch that race.
Yeah,
I remember what the year was. You said 2006, but
yeah, 2006.
Lewis Hamilton GP2 Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on YouTube and it's full glorious entirety. But nonetheless, here is Alp on Bean. We saw this quite a bit last week. I think Alp with the tire advantage now. Bean's softs after 7 laps have to be shouting at him. Basically, Alp just put in the fastest lap of the race on those fresher medium tires. And I think he's going to get it done around the outside. He's probably going to have DRS as well. I think Bean might too on it from his teammate. From Wizard, excuse me. But
put up as much fight as he could, but I don't think he's going to have a chance to fight back really. Often, especially his teammates just.
Yeah, I think Bean's tire choice here is going to be pretty telling. I think he's stretching these out on purpose. He might be going for that one stop to hards, or maybe even mediums at that point, like you mentioned at the start of the broadcast. Alp is going to get around his teammate for today, COS Wizard, quite easily. No punches pulled there. McLaren always the smarter version of Ferrari. Bean now is going to be yeah. Bean now is going to be attacking Wizard. I think he should be able to get this move done.
I'm not sure what Fader's doing. It's just like 4 cars past. I'm not sure if he had an instant. He's just letting everyone pass. I'm not sure what's happening here. My guess is he may retire in the pits. Would that be really unusual for me?
Yeah, I think
he's
he's
just let 5 guys pass.
Yeah, he's certainly.
Unless he's had a spin and his tyres are hot and he has to drive slowly, maybe that's more likely. He will come into the pits.
Could be. We'll see what happens here.
I think he's sitting just ahead of Perry.
Not sure.
So
I wouldn't.
And he's
going to hard.
He's not. So maybe he's just got him up.
Yeah, must be. But unfortunately for Fatal, that task isn't going to get any easier, even with clear track ahead of him with these hards.
Nicholas will get moved on, also pitting. So Juventus' strat will be interesting as well. See how long he stays out on those medium tyres. Likewise with Wizard, they're kind of the only 2 on Lopez as well. So 3 of them on that strat, trying to extend the mediums. Katie up to P7 as well in hards, so not too bad for him there. If he gets a safety car in the last kind of 10-11 laps, then KD could be in a really good position with track position and free pit stop.
Yeah, and with that,
trying to stretch that long.
With that really, I would say pretty exaggerated undercut. I think Lopez pit on lap, or not Lopez, Alp pit on lap 4. He was able to get about 5 seconds on Nicholas, who I would assume is on the same strategy as he gets held up a little bit by Bean. I think, Bean is definitely stretching these for as long as he can, but I don't think there's a whole lot of life left in him. Yeah,
on the outside of the post, you never really make moves.
I think, there is Bean. I'm gonna ride on board with him as he makes his pit stop. I'm very interested to see what this, what tires he's gonna throw on.
I think it's too low for mediums. My guess would be hard. There's Lopez ahead hit on the mediums as well, so Lopez is probably struggling with a tire wear.
Oh, doesn't look like we do have. Mediums. Yeah, those are mediums there.
That's interesting. Because if you're going to 2-stop, you'd probably pit 2 laps earlier. And you'd still be able to go on soft. So
you might know something.
Take 19 laps.
Yeah, it's quite a while, but I guess it's doable. Lopez pitted at the same time. He's thrown on soft, so he is abandoning the one stop. He is going for 2 as he just has a straight black helmet this week. An ode to Dale Earnhardt, I would imagine. But moving back up to the front, Alp obviously no problems now. 5 seconds ahead of Nicholas. and they would appear to be on the same strategy unless Nicholas is in the same camp as Bean. Wizard with an American flag helmet, showing his American pride from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. And now we got Fenrique and Swarner. This is going to get a little spicy. I think KD might be holding these guys up a little bit at this point. He's on 9-lap bold hard as Fenrique goes really deep. Almost does the same thing to Swarner that he did to Bean in the opening stance of the race. But yeah, KD's still struggling for grip, even when those hards should be coming in to form his... Oh yeah, and I think...
He forces Fenrique wide and into a penalty, so Fenrique... after making mistakes, now costs himself 30 seconds. As Warner's going to probably get a really good run on KD into the next section, but Fenrique might be exposed to Perry actually, because he won't really have much toe, as Warner's all over the back of KD. Perry's looking a bit tasty. Sterling's allowed to close within a second too, so Arba will be licking his lips a little bit, seeing a nice tasty back of cars, as will Lopez probably in a few laps on fresh softs.
Yeah. That is kind of interesting that Lopez is kind of sandwiching. I would have assumed that he was going to go for the softs for the last stint instead of the second stint, but could have been a mistake. I know I had that same problem last night where Jeff changed the strategy last second.
Henrique's just running to the back of KD slightly, just getting so much more drive out of the chicane. As I'll run for Perry here, who had got directly ago. These Perry's going to want to get past KD as well, and
goodness gracious,
not much hard to fight with.
I think we've seen more side-by-side racing in the first 11 laps here than I think we've seen in the past 10 years in real life at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. To be fair, was it the 2011 race in Abu Dhabi that was crazy? You had cars
where I think Alonso was leading the championship, and was it Vitaly Petrov helped for the last part of the race?
That was 2010, but I think the race 1 or 2 years after that was absolutely insane as well. But other than that, yeah, not many great races at Abu Dhabi, but these guys are proving that it's possible as events will come to the pits on his mediums. He's going to put on another set of mediums. Very interesting. I think you could easily go soft from here. Maybe he's only got one set of softs left though, using followers. Maybe that's the reason.
That's true. You'll probably, just doing the out lap, hot lap, and in lap, you'll probably burn about 10% on all your tires, if not more. So that second set of softs might not even be really worth it. But we'll see. He has definitely put himself...
Anyway, so
yeah.
he'll get
this Fenrique up the inside of the DRS-less Swarner. I guess showing that that Red Bull still reigns supreme over AlphaTauri, despite...
Whoa, Swarner's low and everywhere. I'm just on board with Perry, and he's just shot from one side of the track to the other. But he's still in the race, which is good. Perry's going to get nice close to the back as well. Perry's going to be a bit nervous trying to get past him, like he can't seem to fun. And Perry's internet's not necessarily the most stable either, being a stormy race, as Kono's got to squeeze past Bean very aggressively there. I think Bean might have tried to make a move the previous corner. These guys are going side by side as well, so two little battle packs going on right now. These can try to go around the outside. Oh, and Connor's going to cut him off, and they've made a bit of contact, and Connor's gone deep. More contact, and Bean's lost front end in play. So,
I'm not sure which one in this train to pick from.
Yeah.
There's...
Bean's going to be so frustrated in the fight for probably a top 5, and he just runs back at Connell at the wrong time in sector 3, and Connell's driving all over the place. He's missing his apexes now, being under pressure, so that's going to make Bean even more frustrated. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn 1, and he's going to get squeezed off. No, he gets given space. So Bean makes that move, but the front wing damage comes at a price.
Yeah, I think Connell might have read the comment from Big Slater 97. Said, "Come on, Connell, stick the finger out."
He's definitely done that, hasn't he? He's good at races, and he's not just looking for the seat, which is good. You want to see your reserves actually putting in a bit of effort.
Yeah.
Lopez will get KD still on fresh soft, so Lopez is going to try and tear through this tasty battle pack we've been watching for the last few laps as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I was surprised it took Lopez as long as it did to get past Katie on those hards with the softs. I'm not sure if it's for the best, for the better or worse. I mean, with all these cars in front, it's going to be difficult even for Lopez with the tire advantage to kind of piece his way through this. Everyone's got DRS except for the leader of the train, which is Fenrique still.
He's within a second of Wizard now, so I think Wizard's going to be the leader of this train now. Still hasn't hit yet, so he's going to have not much pace at all. Look how much Fenrique's closing in today's sector where the tyres really count.
Yeah,
so Fenrique's going to want to...
I'd say 13 laps.
Looks like he's trying to stretch it out. If Wizard can stay out, I reckon 4 more laps, he can go to softs. I reckon he can do that.
Yeah. Wizard definitely. I would say that the real optimal, or at least the optimal running pace of the medium tires probably ends at about lap 12. So he is definitely struggling, but I think he's going to get swamped here pretty quickly. Obviously, he's on a different strategy from everyone else in the field at the moment, doing a pretty good job, honestly, to remain in P3 with those worn tires. As Fenrique should be able to get him easy enough. Swarner as well. Perry not too far behind. As not sure if Swarner's going to send it on him. I think he might just run out of space. But gosh, these guys are just all backed up.
This is struggling to get power down there. He actually did pretty well, but that back end was not that stable. Swan should get him pretty easily. Perry is going to be frustrated if he can't. I don't think Perry's going to get him, so Perry might lose a lot of time. I'm just going to absolutely send him. Send the Danny Rick style. He's going to make a bit of contact and get squeezed out. That kind of came from nowhere, so good defending there from Wizard, but Perry's... Let's just watch how much time he loses.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't even think Wizard probably saw that coming until Perry was alongside of him.
Well, he's going to dive from here again, so Perry being really creative on the brakes. He's going to squeeze him out wide, very, very aggressive. Wizard won't like that too much.
And now that's...
for R-Bar as well.
Yeah, that's R-Bar
who... spun it, that's let over. Lopez through, so... Wow. Lopez, but also... Lopez has got to be really careful, actually. He's going to have so much more grip. And you don't want to run through back like you saw Bean do earlier on. Bean's actually coming in and put on another 7 millions because of that, so... but yeah, look how much pace that the guys behind Wizard are missing just because Wizard's grip is absolutely nowhere. Like the gap from R-Bar to Perry is now over just about 3 seconds.
Yeah, so, and in the dirty air through that flat left-right section is also extremely it's very turbulent for even Lopez, yeah. But I think Lopez, R-Bar's definitely going to get him here. I think Lopez will...
Lopez got a great run.
Is he going to go to the outside? Oh, he's going to go to the outside. Wow.
2 guys around the outside of the slow guy. Lopez will try and go deeper on the brakes. I'm on board with Wizard because he's going to have a good feel for all this. He's gone a little bit too deep.
Oh, and I think Lopez, Lopez, I think spun the tires a little bit, which is also easy to do on that exit. I would assume is that DK? I think he retired in the pits.
Safety car. We brought out a safety car. No, that's on track. That's on the exit of 3.
Was it?
So he's taking a bit too much curve there. You can see his stricken Renault on the track map there.
I thought it might have been in pit lane.
No, that's the safety car coming out now.
Oh, okay.
So DK's put it in the wall. That's a shame. He was hoping for a few points. He won't be too happy.
Oh, and what is? I thought. Oh, Nicholas. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what they were doing. I thought they were racing each other into the final corner, but they were actually racing each other into the pits. Nicholas came out on top. So well done.
This could be massive. I was going to say about that's I didn't get attention in that battle. Nicholas was starting to close the gap to Alpha, but it was down to 2 seconds after being at 4.
Yeah, and we have a diversified thing here. Nicholas on the softs. I would assume he's hoping. I think he's hoping to break that DRS as soon as possible in the first 3 laps and out.
I think that's a master strat. Actually.
Yeah,
I think that's amazing. I think those tires will go to the end.
I would assume we're gonna go back as Alp. Safety car really slowed up there as Nicholas and Alp caught it in the braking zone. But I think Nicholas kind of came from nowhere. We've been watching that middle of the track or middle of the pack action, and Nicholas went from about 5 seconds down on Alp, and I guess he closed up pretty close there, at least close enough to beat him into pit lane. So well done from him.
What happened there for the last sector? He must have just had the best of the delta, because you know how up and down the delta gets.
Yeah.
Enrique and Juventus are going side by side down straight for some reason. Juventus got ahead of him in the pits, and they're actually going to overtake each other. And then settle back in. So Juventus is the big winner out of this. He hit 3 laps ago, and he's put himself into effective P4.
Yeah, the worst to first challenge.
It's a genuine P4 now. So Juventus pulling out a masterstroke. As Little Sid in the chat is asking us to give Connor a shout out, so we'll do that right now. Connor. He's put on so hard because he's questionable, but I mean he's still in the race.
Yeah, this is gonna be I think Wizard definitely was able to make that work, and that came out at an absolutely optimal time from him. I think someone in the comments was talking about tire wizardry from Wizard, and I think it really was. He didn't really lose anything. Got a free pit stop out of it as well, and now he's on softs. One of only 2.
Yeah. I'm expecting to see Wizard probably get into that top 5 fight. I'm not sure if he'll get top 5, but he'll at least put himself, give himself a chance at it. And I reckon Nicholas is in a great position to bolt. I mean, Alp's mediums are going to be good at the end of the stint, so Nicholas is going to have to make up all the time early while the softs are good, and then it will be up to Alp, Warner, those guys behind to catch up. Speaking of catching up, Enrique followed his teammate in the pit, so he got held up and lost the position of Swarner, and then just lost out to Juventus on the track as well. As Juventus has stayed out. So Enrique has lost 2 positions, so he'll be wanting to get back onto the podium again. So keep an eye out for him, I reckon, on the restart.
Yeah, we got a shout out for Canal from Little Sid 94. In the comments, Canal, I'm not sure what he was doing, putting on hards here. I don't know if he just ran out of other tires, but I feel like if there's one big loser here in this entire situation, it's probably him. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you wonder why he hasn't pit again, because he's only got 2 positions.
I think
not, so.
I would assume that we're gonna come in here, or the safety car's coming in this lap. I would assume, working on lap 18. DK says that he's not happy with some drivers after tonight. DK, the only one to DNF, he brought out the safety car. Didn't see exactly what happened, but there has been some extremely hard racing, really start to finish. So I think we had similar situations last night as well, with drivers not too thrilled with one another.
Later reckons Alp has this one.
Yes, yeah.
And then if he can stay kind of close to Nicholas, then he's going to have the best tyres, I reckon, for the last 5 laps.
Yeah, I think
the absolute right in the first 56.
Right.
Or 5 laps, but after that you're going to lose a lot of advantage. First-hand experience last night, softs absolutely rapid at the start, but then once they kind of start to fall off, you can really notice it as we're going nearly side by side. As I was about to say, someone's going to get a penalty here, and it's Juventus, because they're running so close to each other as the field converges. Nicholas just slowing them all up. This actually is worth noting as well. One of the worst safety car restart.
Absolutely.
The third sector is so slow, and the safety car drives so slowly. You can see it coming around all these slow 90-degree corners now, so these guys can't go too early, but it's always going to cause a bit of calamity in the back.
Yeah, and there's...
I've got a beautiful helicopter shot of everyone just in each other's gas.
Yeah, it's it is absolutely treacherous with just so many 90-degree turns in the third sector, one after another. It does give.
Guys are going 40 k's an hour, which is. I think 2 more people got collisions there with Swarner and someone else.
Yeah, Swarner just kind of.
If they're already going side by side, which is very illegal, you're not allowed to overtake to the safety car line. Juventus goes very, very wide and lets everyone through. Why is that? Has he got damage?
He might.
Can't let everyone through. Oh, he's
yeah,
got damage.
Yeah, it's his left front end plate is gone.
Wide and he can't get back to the inside to get the pit lane. So Juventus has gone from 4th to 14th before the safety car has even really come in.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, and he had come all the way from last place as well, all the way up to P4. But Nicholas.
Well, by the way.
Yeah, those are gonna come in handy, I guess. I hope you might need some Adderall to do all that math. But Nicholas is here as expected. I think a little bit better than expected. 1.6 up through the first sector on Alp. He is absolutely running away at the moment. Alp has broken DRS on Swarner's as well. These two definitely had Swarner had a bit of a coming together there at the end. Fenrique now hot on his tail for, I guess, not really sure if I can call it the final podium position. I'll just say on track podium position, because I do think that we're under the impression that Fenrique will get a pretty big penalty for his incident with Bean in the first few laps. Perry in P5 now. He's finding himself in a pretty good position, but Arbar, Lopez, and KD are all kind of starting to pile up behind him. Wizard as well.
I'll be watching him as well. He's got really good raw pace. As long as he can keep himself out of trouble with other people.
Yes, the gap is somewhat stabilized at about 1.5 seconds up front. I'm not sure how much time Nicholas needs. What would you say? Probably about 3 seconds before those tires start to fall off the last few laps of this race.
I reckon to win this race he's going to need at least a 3 second, maybe 4 second gap.
Yeah, so Alp doing a great job right now, not losing touch, as I would assume Nicholas is absolutely putting those softs through the ringer to try to get away, as Fenrique lobs one down the inside on Swarner, and we are getting terrible camera views. I think Swarner does fight him off. These two have gotten into a few different scuffles. I think Barcelona especially fighting for the last podium spot. Not sure if they are too thrilled with each other, but these guys are going quite hard. Fenrique is going to send it again up the inside. Swarner trying to hold off. Yeah, but I think Fenrique is going to get the best of that battle. Now Perry is right on the back of both of these guys, less than 3/10 into this final sector where you can't really overtake, but it should set him up. And look at that, all the way back to P10 being sandwiched. They are just nose to tail like we saw quite a bit of earlier on. DRS should come into play either this lap, this lap, as Alp has put in the fastest lap of the race. It's down to 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind Nicholas. Alp is absolutely driving the wheels off this thing despite being at a disadvantage on tires, as Arbar picks up
that there. He tried to throw the nose in turn one and kind of backed out of it and just cut that corner. It's probably run wide. I can give you a penalty update when you want as well at some point, but I think while this action's so close, we've got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I would say let's just wait until the last few laps, because I think that there's still plenty of penalties to be had.
Absolutely. They've actually behaved themselves quite well generally though, but I mean, with positions on the line, late safety cars, it's always a chance to gain a lot, but you can also lose a lot. So these guys are going so hard. Stephen going so hard. Colonel on those very hard tyres is absolutely struggling. So 5.5 seconds off the train up to the points. So that's kind of taken Burzy Fatal out of the points equation as well, just because they're stuck behind him for now.
Yeah, and Burzy and Fatal. Yeah, Burzy and Fatal cannot get past him. These are gonna be tough to make up. 7 seconds there as Lopez picks up another one. Obviously with the penalty, as fast and loose as they are coming here, are works for future reference for those two, Burzy and Fatal fighting it out, but not sure if they're going to be able to catch back up to this group. Wizard up there in P9, who is
the wall on the exit there. Not able to really make many positions, and he's run very, very wide. He'll pick up at least a warning for that. So Bean has still got a bit of damage. He looks like he's very understeery, unless he's just pushing a bit too hard. He'd be quite frustrated with his weekend being bunted off at the start. It's gone wide again, so Bean not having a fantastic race. Doesn't look like he's really in a position to make up any more positions. Is Arbar going side?
Yeah, whoa, yeah, Perry locked it up. And now Lopez getting held up by all this. See if Arbar might be able to get a little bit better traction. No, he can't. Yeah.
I won't be happy with Perry there. I reckon Perry might cop a bit of a chat with the stewards afterwards, but Arbo will get moved on as the pre won't fight it too hard.
Yeah, no, Lopez. Whoa. Yeah, and Lopez is he has seen that same exact situation a few times here tonight. But a top 5 still in the offing for him. Only half a second down, yeah.
And
Great
Arbar's
helicopter shot.
Be nice and slow down the straight too. Lopez can look around the outside of Arbar too. Can he get the car stuck in?
Whoa! Neri cuts him off, and then is that is Bean?
KD went
Or
through.
KD. Yeah,
Yep.
Bean right behind these guys. Biding his time. I gotta say, I wouldn't be shocked if there's another safety car with the way these fellas are driving right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Perry's just got to play it fairly clean though, because he doesn't have any penalties, and most guys around do. So.
Yeah, finally, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for that shot all night. Finally, a shot from the footbridge over the track, which is
great if you get like camera angles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe on the PS5.
Kind of like front wing changes, like front wing cameras and shoulder cameras and this garbage. We need more of this stuff, but. Anyway,
there's Canal. Not sure where he went off. Was in the pit lane. Yeah, I think those. Yeah, those hard tires. I think that might have been a Jeff special, because I don't think anyone in the right mind would pick hards in that situation. Unfortunate for Canal, but I think he lost any chance of points at that stage of the race. Lopez still trying to get past KD after he lost position. Getting involved in that R-bar Perry skirmish. KD gets a huge snap oversteer on the throttle. Might set Lopez up here, both on DRS, and Lopez going to go to the outside. Because I think that's Bean and Wizard back there going... Yeah. Oh boy. And Wizard's just gonna have to mow the lawn there. Bean is, I'm sure, extremely frustrated, not the way that he wanted to follow up on his maiden race win.
Yeah, well, doubled his potential points received in that move, and he doesn't want to double it again if he can get Lopez to P8.
No, I think Katie might be able to line up a move on Perry. Heading into the... Oh, actually, Perry gets a much better release, but... In...
The scuffling's allowed Arbar to kind of get a gap, though.
Yeah, in the foreground, not really surprised if Enrique was able to gap these guys. Bean!
Oh, someone's around Bean. That's
in the wall, is that... Yeah, I think that's gonna be... Yeah, I think that's his left front suspension. Yeah, Bean was really driving hard here.
This is good for Nicholas. I think it's going to benefit Nicholas the most.
Yeah, definitely, with those softs. And Wizard as well. Might be able to save
a bit of life, and they'll probably warm up a bit quicker. Although, to be fair, they're 6 laps old now, so they might not turn on as well as they might have earlier. So I was actually really close to the gap under the safety car. Just getting a friendly delta by the looks of things. As we're underway, no one gets to drive through this week, which is good for the first time in a long time that happened. But Alp's back in this fight. He's dropped. He's managed to drop about 6-7 tenths.
Yeah, he was able to capitalize on that VSC, unlike Nicholas. Really a luck of the draw sort of thing.
Sorry, I'm with KD, who's just sent it from Perry and nearly spun it. Sorry to cut you off there, but that was almost disaster.
Yeah, let's not get a double retirement for Racing Point here. I think Otmar Safnauer would prefer some points here today. And of course,
KD there.
That's KD around.
In the wall,
jeez, this is a commentator's curse right there.
I will not be happy.
Yeah, Otmar can't be thrilled. I'm not sure. Yeah, is he? Yeah, and then he gets a 3-second time. That's a lot of damage. He probably has absolutely no downforce. He's gonna have to change that wing, throw on some softs, see what happens here in the end. Alp pretty much onto the back of Nicholas. Let's see if he can get a same kind of result to that first VSC. But 2 VSCs in successive laps for Racing Point. Not ideal. Lawrence Stroll's going to have a word with these guys after the race.
He was a bit of a bill after this race, I reckon, actually.
Yeah.
Smashed up cars. You've lost front wing, I think Bean's lost a bit of...
Yeah, they might have. They might have to. They might have to find some more Canadian billionaires to fill out that consortium. I'm pretty sure every Canadian every Canadian billionaire is involved in F1 in some form at the moment.
Juventus drive through.
Oh man, yeah, I was gonna say Juventus was almost in a position where he could get back into the points. Given just how crazy these last few laps have been, but unfortunately he shot himself in the foot once again. As Alp can't really get the same jump. I think he cut off about 4/10 last time. This time it's stabilized. A lot more space here than there has been. As there's another yellow flag. I think that's in sector 2.
That'd be KD.
Yeah, I'm not sure if KD's just overdriving it right now or what. Maybe just did a little half spin coming out of that chicane. Is Katie's front wing is still, or no, that's actually that's Bean's front wing that's still laying there on the exit of turn 1. Not sure what these track marshals are doing. And of course they're here on a
having a beer there.
And that's another one.
What's that one
What?
for? Is anyone round? I'll get to 5 second for
yeah.
with Nick.
Yeah, because it came out it came out as soon as they were going around the hairpin onto the first DRS straight, and Nicholas reacted obviously a lot quicker. And for Alp, that's just a terrible place, terrible time and place for that to happen. And what a quick VSC! Why is that even a VSC? I don't even know.
I'm not sure who caused that. I don't think Alp has damage either, so but yeah, that's potentially the race win. He won't drop below Fenrique because he's clean on penalties otherwise, but I mean that's going to give the win to Nicholas on track at least. I reckon if that was a bit dodgy though, Alp can get that penalty removed at the end of the race, so this race is still on.
Yeah, I think the stewards are going to have quite a bit on their plates this week for AM1. That this is a strange ending to a race.
Imagine if it starts raining.
Yeah, maybe.
The rate of things that have been happening is coupled out of the question.
Yeah, my favorite part on the formation lap yesterday, before the race, Jeff actually came over and said that they weren't anticipating rain. I can't use the same words that I used on my stream, but yeah, we're in the middle of a desert, Jeff. It's not really a surprise. Thanks for the update.
Something like, go away, Jeff. I don't need to hear it.
Yeah, right. Something with more flavorful language. That was
not great as well, along with a couple of other things in this game. But enough of Jeff. He's not the most important person here. These guys on track, it looks like Alf might have a decent run on Nicholas here. Look at the overspeed. He's going to catch him rapidly. He might wait to the second DRS zone though.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what these exits are gonna be, but yeah, Nicholas.
Nicholas gets loose.
Yeah, I think Alp should be able to do this.
Look at that speed. Way more battery.
Yeah.
Nicholas has 0 battery, and Alp's gonna shoot past him, and that could just about be. Yeah, that Nicholas will probably still take the win on track due to that 5 second for Alp, but. Alp will probably come across the line first at this stage. I don't really see Nick having a tyre life to get back at him, but I mean, you never know. Leading the championship, we know he's got class.
Yeah, with the amount of VSCs that we had, I would say that definitely helped Nicholas out a little bit, but Alp was able to just get huge jumps, especially on that first one, and I think these tires are probably starting to bald a bit. Beautiful, finally a helicopter shot, wow. I've been looking for this helicopter shot all day. Shout out to Codemasters, as we are following.
Pilot was having a beer as well.
Yeah, apparently. I'm not sure if that's illegal, but it's definitely not legal in the UAE. I'm pretty sure you can go to prison for like 5 years for beer. Maybe
a helicopter.
Yeah, I mean he's got a helicopter. I mean that's probably the easiest way to smuggle a 30-pack of Fosters on board. But Alp is running away now 1 second there in that lap alone on Nicholas. Fenrique currently in P3. I gotta say, I'm not sure what these final standing or results are going to look like as Katie dumps in the fastest lap.
Next couple laps, because
yeah,
the
but
field's kind of starting to spread out a bit.
Yeah, but even on top of that, I feel like Alp's 5 second might get removed. Fenrique is probably going to have at least 5 or 10 seconds added on, I think, post race for the collision with Bean. I'm not entirely sure on what this is going to look like in a couple of days. Fatal is still back here trying to work on Bursey for tentatively the final for an extra point for P9. 2 points is better than 1. KD's coming with a vengeance, but I don't think that extra point for fastest lap is going to come to fruition, as he's still got 11 seconds to make up to get into the points. Getting a little closer here. I think Fatal and Bursey are the fastest, are the closest.
A little bit again, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
That gap was kind of 1.5.
Yeah, not too bad. I think Nicholas probably saved DRS for a couple laps, and he's just gonna let it all hang out here.
No, he was, or not. He was using it out of the run of corner 2 there, so he's trying to send it now. He obviously knows that DRS is important. It's his only real chance. That gap's right on the second. Will he get DRS? He will just get DRS, but I think he's going to be too far back to really make a move, so that could be it.
Yeah, and then we saw whenever Alp made the initial overtake here that he really has no grip on that extremely low speed exit coming through the chicane. Hopefully he can get the power down better. No oversteer, but I think
he had to back out of the throttle a little bit there.
Yeah,
nothing. And I think that's probably his last chance there. So Alp will probably be able to hang on now, as Lopez and Perry having a fight as well. Lopez get him down the inside, and Perry is going to have to let him go, try and get the run out of the corner.
Yeah.
Neither of them have too much more to play with. Perry's actually got a fair amount of ERS compared to Lopez, so we might see Perry have another lunge. Yeah, he's definitely going to get the run around the outside.
Yeah, that is a lot of ERS that he's saved up.
Yeah, he's got it done before the braking zone. Lopez will cook it on the brakes a tiny bit, just misses the back of Perry, but Perry goes through P6, which is good. And he will hang on to it for on penalties as well.
Oh, is that Lopez?
Very, very loose.
Oh boy, I thought the camera switched from on Perry's on board as Alp crosses the line.
Oh, Nicholas had a 5 second as well. So Alp will take P1. did Nick speed in the pit, or did he pick up a penalty as well?
If you speed in the pit, then that would be... Yeah, Swarner gets it as well. I mean, these might be safety cars.
I saw Swarner's one, but I don't remember seeing anything for Nicholas, so... We might have to ask him in the post-races, but... I mean, no one's changed positions.
Yeah, I mean, things might actually... I mean, if we can get these two together, things might be a little feisty here. I'm not sure, especially with Fenrique involved as well. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Obviously, the stewards' decision are going to be coming near the next couple of days, and we'll touch base tomorrow or next week when we get ready to race at Spa in the beautiful Argonne finish. Yeah, you know, the coolest part about like this in Singapore is like the last lap. Even if you're like really far behind, you still get to see the fireworks. That's a nice touch.
Yeah,
but
right. We need more light transition races, I think, because the car clips are happening tonight. Abu Dhabi is quite a beautiful setting, even if the racetrack isn't so. But you guys come around the final corner and
is that Fatal? Is that Fatal or Lopez that
Lopez, I think.
decided to Bennett? So yeah, with all of as Wizard gets driver of the day from the game, you guys can let us know in the comments who you think was driver of the day. There's I think a multitude of drivers to choose from here. This has been a crazy one. Did not disappoint, that is for sure. Alp gets his revenge, at least for now, I think. Wins on track, I believe, given all the penalty situations, at least in the game, it's going to be a victory from him, his first of the season, of course. Nicholas in P2, holding on to the top spot in the championship, and Fenrique there in P3. Still gotta say there are going to be a lot of asterisks here for a couple of days. Not sure exactly how this is going to end up. Um, uh, Lil Sid says Canal for driver of the day. I think he was on for points. He was on for points before the pit stop mishap, but I think Wizard did pretty good as well from an EU point of view. And I guess if you want to work on getting the podium guys in here,
Yep,
and
we'll try and do it nice and quick because we
yeah,
did get slow past.
but yeah, strange. The races around here never disappoint in game. I think speaking on behalf of everyone, I would much prefer to see the final race of the season actually happen at either Interlagos or Suzuka, more spiritual homes for the final race of the season. But Abu Dhabi does have the most money, and they get the final call. Thankfully, in our point of view, put on a fantastic show this evening. I'm gonna get on over to the McLaren, the beautiful McLaren. Shout out to Dark Trace, Dell Technologies, Splunk, Arrow, Richard Mille, Dell. Lots of sponsors to read off. And who could forget golf as well. So Lil Sid is saying the Canal had a massive nosebleed in the race.
Oh, really?
So
is that figurative or is that actually
I don't know. Is that some sort of UK slang? I'm not sure. That would be interesting. I can't imagine having to deal with a nosebleed going on in the middle of the race. So that might have been part of the reason that some of the decisions didn't really work out too well for him.
I think we're just about good to go because Enrique can't join. Alp has just joined the party, and I'll do a typical little catch up on Discord for Nicholas. So I think we can, get going. Hello again, Alp. Another podium. Good to chat with you again.
Oh, hang on. Just need to do one thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, okay. Just save my footage in case something happens. Yeah, my first win since returning. Quite happy.
Yeah, it was a pretty bit of a wild race in the end, with a few late safety cars, virtual safety cars, which cost a lot of drivers 5-second penalties. I think you and Nicholas both received one at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How was the collision? Did you just run into each other slightly?
Yeah, it was a little tap. It was the third VS2 and it was at the exact same spot. I wasn't expecting it, and yeah, my bad, but we both got the penalty. And, I mean, it should be removed for both of us, but it doesn't make a difference at the end.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, qualifying, putting them in pole by about 7/10, that was pretty impressive. Leading into the race, we noticed you were pretty high in the time trial rankings, so good to get that lap together. Obviously, really enjoy the track. I'm not necessarily sure about enjoy, but really strong around the track. So were you kind of expecting a really good result based off your pace already?
Yeah, I want a good result, especially after the EU1 race, which I did earlier and went completely wrong. So yeah, I wanted to prove to myself that I had what it takes to win, and yeah, the lap was very good in qualifying, and yeah, just the win is nice too.
Yeah, definitely displayed that pace. Couple more questions. Late safety car you put on the mediums. Do you reckon that was the right call? We saw most of the field put on mediums, but we saw Nicholas put on softs, and I think it was Wizard as well. Were you happy that the mediums were the right tyre?
Well, Wizard had to put on the softs because he started on the medium, so it was his only choice. But, yeah, I think Nicholas made a small mistake there. I mean, I was running a pretty aggressive setup, and the softs didn't last too long for me, so I knew mediums were the best bet, and that's why I put on.
Yeah, I think, it was pretty bold. I think I called it on the stream to be a pretty decent strategy choice for Nicholas going softs, but it might have been probably 2 laps too early for them to be insanely beneficial, because we saw once you kind of got past him, you were able to stretch the legs a tiny bit on those mediums. That looks like the right call. So yeah, good job there on the pit wall there. kind of overrunning Jeff, who did some questionable things with some other drivers, actually. One more question. We saw Nicholas jump in the pit lane. We just caught the end of it. What happened there? Because we thought the gap was more around the 2-second mark when the yellows came out initially.
Okay, so that's a weird one. I'm sure Nicholas could give you a different answer to when you interview him, but basically heading into the pit lane, I sort of went to play some games. I mean, try to confuse him as to what he was doing. So I entered very late, and I don't know, maybe he thought I was gonna stay up, but he dived down the inside and sort of we made contact. Then he got past me at the entrance. The game told me to get back ahead of him, but once we got into the pit lane, everything just reset, so it was a weird one.
All right. Okay, that's very interesting. So your mind games kind of backfired a little bit in the end there. Well, I mean, I guess it was successful because he thought you were staying out, but yeah, we just kind of saw him on the outside of you and you were kind of racing to the line. We were very confused there. But yeah, I guess ultimately it didn't matter too much because you managed to get the win on track. So yeah, a few weird moments in there. But yeah, showing you class in the field, which is absolutely fantastic. Getting the win, as you said, first win back. So get your name out there. Do you reckon you're a shot at the championship fight still, considering you're a few races down?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at the previous seasons, I've won it by quite some margin, and I'm down by less than that margin. So I know I have a chance, but Nicholas, he's very consistent this season. So I don't know if it will be like that. I mean, if I can catch up to him quickly, so it will be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm definitely going for it.
Definitely, that's what we like to hear. Well, anyway, congratulations on your win. Superb driving. Good to see you back on top, as you have been so much in this league. So well done there, and we'll catch you next week for, I think, Belgium. So that'll be a fun race.
Yep. See you then.
Alrighty. I'll just get Nicholas on the line. We can ask him a couple of questions too. I'll just mute all of my other Discord servers so you don't hear pinging every 10 seconds. And we'll get him in. Alright, let's see how that goes. Testing the sound. Look, I can hear myself. Alright, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, awesome. Alright, good to have you on the line again. Another race, another podium, but not the top step this time, so had some pretty good competition in Alp. Yeah, how was the race from your perspective?
Yeah, it was a good race. I drove extremely well, and if I was going to lose to someone, I'd always wanted to beat it out because I believe he's probably the quickest driver on the grid. It was a shame about the first safety car because I was catching him at a decent pace, and then that obviously put a stop to things. And then I had no mediums left, so I had to go onto the soft tyre. Well, literally everyone else opted for the mediums, and that kind of sent me downhill from there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, obviously saw you come in for the softs. I mentioned to Alp as well, we kind of called it as a pretty, as a possibly really strong strategy, but it was probably 2 or 3 laps too early in the end, wasn't it? Those softs didn't quite last the race.
Yeah, they weren't as bad as I was expecting, but they did the job. So second was probably, after qualifying when Alp was 7/10 on pole, probably deserved it from that. So I'm still happy with second. I feel he could have done a bit more today if the first safety car hadn't have come out, but that's racing and you just deal with it, and he still drove a brilliant race, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really great race. See you guys duke it out again. Still, P2 is a great result, and you're going to extend your championship lead over most of the field. So, still ultimately a good result for the weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, super job. Also, I got to ask you as well, under the safety car in the pit lane, Alt mentioned that he was trying to play a few games and kind of try and drag you out, but you both kind of met each other in the middle in the pit lane. So, walk us through that one from your perspective.
Yeah, I was trying to follow what he did and then realised, pitting probably the best option. And then right as I moved in, he also went with the same idea, and it was just side by side in the pit lane doesn't really work. Not too much to say on it. Yeah, wouldn't say it's either of our fault, to be fair.
Yeah, fair enough. So I guess fantastic race from the pair of you, both on the track and also in the pit lane, we can say. So yeah, congratulations on your podium again. Super drive to P2, and we will also see you next week in Belgium for what should be another cracking race. So well done again.
I'm not actually there for that one.
Oh, you're gonna miss it, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So that could really blow this championship open a little bit. Gives a couple of guys a chance to catch you. So important for you to have a lead then, reading into that. So we'll have to see what some of the other drivers can do, but we'll see you in a fortnight then, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
I believe it's Monaco, so the return of the leading driver in Nautia in 2 weeks, so that will be something worth watching. But yeah, congratulations again, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you.
Alrighty, over to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see where everything where the dust settles next week. I think a lot of penalties, a lot of stewards discussions probably going to be taking place, but we'll update you on all that next week when we are at. Am I wrong if I say the best circuit in the world?
I think it's just about the best circuit in the world. So
yeah, we'll be at Spa-Francorchamps in beautiful Belgium, and I think we'll be here at the same time, same place, of course. Race is starting on Monday afternoon for the American side, Monday evenings for the European side. Who knows when that is on the Australian side, but
7 a.m. or something like that. So any else to tune in, choose whether you want to sleep in or watch up.
A little early.
So
some light breakfast watching. But until then, for myself, of course, Badhad, Alp, Nicholas, and Fenrique, who also finished in P3 even though he couldn't make it to the post-race interviews. This is Getting Better signing off for the evening. We'll see you then. Everyone have a great rest of your week.